All right, what's up my friends? Today I have a bit of a task ahead of me. You see, I have this area of ground. This dirt over here is really hard. This is where we had our pumpkin patch last year, and I need to turn the soil. Last year I used a tiller. It took 3 passes just to really even break into the ground enough that we could plant anything, and now it's still just rock hard. I mean, it's just total clay. I need to add something organic to the soil and I need to turn it over. So I do have a little bit of ash because we burned a lot of sticks and stuff over here, and I've spread out the ash, and I have a little bit over here of manure, but I've got another big pile of manure over there, and I'm gonna use the tractor to move it over. I'm gonna turn over the dirt. Now I don't have a big tiller for my tractor yet. It's something I'm saving up for. It's a couple $1,000 even to get a used one. So for this year, I get to use my dad's Mini X. I have a short time frame though, because he's gonna take it up to the mountains and leave it up there at his cabin. So I've only got like the next few days to do this. So it's time to get it done. So I'm gonna start out by moving some compost over, and then I'm gonna turn over the dirt with the excavator. Now, I do have a little bit of a favor to ask you. This is for my wife. My wife loves pumpkins. That's why we do a big pumpkin patch, and we give away a lot of pumpkins. Last year, I mean, we did like a big party. We do that. We talked about that before in another video. But we kind of like to do kind of unique ones too. And so the request is, if there's a type of pumpkin that you really like, especially if you grow any and you're just like, oh, I love this kind. If you want to send me seeds, I will plant what you send me and we will shout you out here on this channel. I can buy pumpkin seeds. What we want is really more your experience. So if you can't send me seeds, tell me what kind you really like and we'll see what we can do about planting them. But if you send me seeds, we will definitely shout you out here on this channel and you will have my undying gratitude. Second thing, most of this video is not very instructional, but I do think it's kind of fun to see farm equipment working and stuff, and so I'm going to show some different views and some different angles, and if you enjoy that kind of stuff, then I hope you'll enjoy the rest of this video. I'll share what I'm doing with this process here, and I'd love some criticism from those of you who have farmed and who know better than I do. I really need to make this soil better. I'm starting this year by adding just a little bit of organic matter and turning it over, but in the future, I'd like to get this soil really good for planting. So whatever insights you have, please share them with me. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy the rest of this content. So I got all that manure spread out, and it's not going to be nearly enough organic matter to actually really make a big difference on this soil. I mean, it kind of covers the whole area once I spread it out, but like, it's not going to be enough. So here's my game plan going forward. First of all, I need to go get some gypsum. Gypsum is gonna help soften this soil quickly, but it's not gonna last forever. And I'm gonna spread some out everywhere before I turn the soil, and then I'll just spread out a small amount on top again, just to kind of keep it soft for now. Then we're gonna go ahead and use this area this season, and then in the fall, we'll pull up the landscape fabric again, like we did this last year, and in the fall, we'll go ahead and cover this whole thing with much more organic matter, a mix of probably chopped up leaves, grass, maybe some wood chips, probably more manure, all that stuff, and just kind of let it work its way into the soil throughout the entire winter. So now we'll go get some gypsum, then we'll spread it out, and then I get to start playing around with this guy, and we're gonna turn the soil over. All right, so the Mini X really did its work, but this ground is a mess. I'm not gonna be able to plant anything in this right now. I mean, it did a good job of breaking up the soil, but holy cow, we got some huge hills and dips. So I'm gonna bring out the tractor and we're gonna try to smooth this out. So to start out here, I was using the bucket, trying to mostly pull backward. That wasn't working super well. I tried pushing forward. It wasn't working real well because I'm driving over really bumpy stuff, and so it's hard to get it very smooth. So then I tried kind of tilting the bucket as far as I could and pushing forward, and that was okay. But I found that what worked best was for me to just drive forward and pull the blade behind me and just do a whole bunch of passes, and eventually just each time around it got a little smoother. So doing that for a little while, and we end up with something that looks pretty good, but still isn't super smooth. And you can see that, like, it's hard to get the tractor blade and stuff all the way into the corners. So the corners are the parts that are maybe a little bit less. So now I'm gonna go through with the landscaping rake, and we're gonna try to smooth this out to basically have it ready for planting. All right, with this all raked out, I mean, basically it's ready. I'm gonna be putting down landscape fabric, laying out the water lines, the drippers, I'm gonna sprinkle a little more gypsum in each of the little holes we put in our landscape fabric. If you wanna see how we did that, I have a video that showed how I did that last year, and I'm sure you're gonna see it in the pumpkin patch. So anyway, that was basically my process. Like I say, I'd love to know more from those of you who have probably a lot more experience than me, what more I can do to this soil. I know this fall I'm gonna be putting down a lot of organic material on top to try to get that to work its way into the soil so that in future years it's better. But what else would you do, or what would you do totally differently? I had to make do with the things I have. I don't have all the farm implements. I just have this little tractor, and I got to use my dad's Mini X, so it was fun if nothing else. Anyway, I think we're ready to start planting pumpkin seeds, so, you know, if you want to share yours with me, let's do this. All right, we'll see you all in our next video.